Sophie Cunningham is back in what can only be described as possibly a miracle from above. Sophie Cunningham is available to play tonight in what can only be described as the fastest healing elbow injury in the history of the planet.
That reaction says it all. A player who was ruled out on Thursday was suddenly ready to play again by Saturday, and many fans are questioning how that happened. But Sophie Cunningham's elbow injury is only part of the story. The bigger issue is a survey spreading among Fever fans, and the results are not looking good. So, what is really going on with the Indiana Fever right now?
I said they gave Sophie time served. I think we all suspect there was a phantom elbow injury or a suspension for the meme.
Let's separate the jokes from the facts. Cunningham missed one game against the Chicago Sky on Thursday because of a sore right elbow. Coach Stephanie White said the injury had been bothering her for some time and had even affected her three-point shooting. Some fans speculated that she was actually being benched because of the June 8 play where she passed the ball to Caitlin Clark for the game-winning shot instead of following White's original play call. However, Cunningham addressed those rumors on her podcast and said it was simply a misunderstanding. By Saturday, she was cleared to play again. There was no hidden suspension, just an elbow injury and a rumor that spread much faster than the injury itself.
My DMs are blowing up with this bad boy. As the Fever has sent out a "please tell us what will bring you back to our games" survey. Because they're not selling out games. Even the game the other night, they had something like 1,100 tickets, 1,500 tickets, something like that. Nah, you can forget it. You watch every game, you can visibly see seats are available. That's a bad look.
Now, let's look at the survey and why it exists. The attendance numbers are real, but they are not as alarming as some people make them seem. Indiana sold out its home opener on May 9th with 17,274 fans in attendance. Since then, the team has not recorded another home sellout, drawing 15,673 against Washington, 14,555 against Seattle, and 16,742 against Golden State. Even a preseason game against Nigeria attracted only about 10,000 fans. Overall, attendance is down by roughly 1,000 fans per game compared to last season. Even so, Indiana still ranks 5th in the entire WNBA in attendance. This is not a collapse, it is a slowdown. However, the downward trend is real, and it's clear that the front office is paying attention to it.
They're not selling seats. Do you understand road tickets are considerably more expensive than the Indianapolis tickets? Fever, most specifically, Caitlin Clark fans are pissed.
That's the key point. A team built around Caitlin Clark usually doesn't send a comeback survey to former ticket holders unless there is some concern behind the scenes. Much of that concern seems connected to the coaching staff. Fans watched Stephanie White take Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull out early during a 16-point home loss to Portland, an expansion team. They also saw White and Clark appear to exchange heated words during a timeout, which only added to the speculation. Rumors about White potentially being fired grew so loud that Indiana Fever reporter Chloe Peterson publicly addressed them, saying there was no truth to those claims. White remains the head coach and is not expected to be replaced. However, even if the rumors are false, it's clear that some fans are losing confidence, and that growing frustration is becoming more visible.
Back this season, player-related concerns, treatment, fairness, or support. Yikes. Let's keep going. We know it's still early in the season. How likely are you to attend a Fever game this season? I'm not sure.
Look at those survey options again, and you can see what the team may be worried about. When one of the choices for bringing fans back is a different head coach, and many of the written responses focus on player treatment and fairness, it feels like more than a simple marketing survey. It looks like an effort to understand the mood of a frustrated fan base. Those concerns are also reflected on the court. Indiana leads the WNBA in scoring, averaging 91.8 points per game, but they also give up 89 points per game, one of the worst defensive marks in the league. A high-powered offense can win games, but if a team cannot consistently get stops on defense, it will continue to lose close, high-scoring contests. That imbalance is a major reason why many fans are frustrated right now.
A new head coach in front office that builds around their star player. Damn. Got to be more careful. Mine was better usage for Caitlin Clark's.
One of the most common themes in those survey responses is the demand to build around the team's star and manage Caitlin Clark's minutes more effectively. For many fans, that gets to the heart of the issue. This also isn't the first time Stephanie White has faced criticism over injury-related communication. Earlier this season, some fans questioned how Clark's injury situation was described before Indiana eventually sidelined her. Last year, White was also fined by the league for comments about officiating after Clark suffered an injury. Because of that history, some fans are more skeptical when injury updates seem unclear. So when a player who appeared healthy suddenly missed a game while suspension rumors were circulating, many people started connecting the dots. Whether those conclusions are accurate or not, the common theme linking the elbow injury, the fan survey, and the attendance concerns is trust. Many fans feel uncertain about the decisions being made, and that lack of confidence is driving much of the current frustration around the team.
I let them know when the coaching philosophy changes, I will return. Thanks for the link. I made my displeasure known. I answered it as I feel, complete and total displeasure.
Here's the side of the argument that many frustrated fans may not want to hear. Stephanie White's record speaks for itself. Last season, she led the Fever to 24 wins, the most regular season victories in franchise history. She also guided the team to a Commissioner's Cup title and a trip to the semifinals. Most importantly, she accomplished much of that success while Caitlin Clark was limited to only 13 games because of injuries. In many ways, White was coaching a championship contender without her biggest star for a large portion of the season. White is also a former Coach of the Year and a respected USA basketball assistant who recently helped Team USA remain undefeated during World Cup qualifying. Because of that track record, there is a legitimate argument that some fans, energized by Clark's arrival and expecting immediate dominance, may be placing too much blame on a coach who has consistently produced results. Whether people agree with that view or not, it is a perspective that deserves to be considered as part of the larger conversation.
Cooked right there. Wow. That is going to get loud. That's going to get even louder.
Let's bring everything together, because the loudest version of this story is not necessarily the most accurate one. The loud version says the Fever are falling apart, empty seats, cheap tickets, a questionable injury report, and a locker room turning against its coach. It's the kind of story that makes for a great headline. The problem is that the actual results on the court don't fully support it. When Sophie Cunningham missed that game against Chicago, Indiana still won 114-106 in overtime. It was their second straight victory and the first time they had won back-to-back games in nearly 3 weeks. They entered Saturday with a 7-5 record and renewed discussion about whether they might be legitimate contenders after all. Meanwhile, Cunningham wasn't suspended or pushed aside. She was cleared to play and returned to the lineup, looking like the same tough, energetic player fans have always supported. So if you were expecting evidence of a team in complete collapse, the scoreboard isn't backing it up. However, that doesn't mean the concerns from fans should be ignored. Winning games and maintaining trust are two different things. A short winning streak does not automatically fix a relationship with a fan base that has been questioning decisions for months. The survey wasn't created because of one bad week. It reflected deeper frustrations from fans who feel uncertain about injury updates, how Caitlin Clark is being used, and whether the organization sees the same issues that many supporters see from the stands. That's the real story here. Not a fake injury, but a growing trust gap. The injury rumor spread so quickly because many fans were already skeptical. Attendance concerns matter because the expectation had become sold-out arenas. And the survey attracted attention because some fans openly chose "different coach" as their answer when asked what might bring them back. The solution is simple in theory, even if it's difficult in practice. Be completely transparent about injuries. Make it clear on the court that the offense runs through the star player fans are paying to watch. Improve defensively and close out tight games with stops instead of relying on shootouts. If the Fever do those things consistently, this survey will likely be forgotten. If they don't, a few wins in June won't matter much by September. That leaves one question. Is Stephanie White holding back a talented roster through questionable rotations and communication? Or has the Caitlin Clark era raised expectations so high that some fans are ready to blame a proven coach despite her success? Both arguments exist, but only one can be closer to the truth. Let me know what you think in the comments. The second half of the season is shaping up to be a battle on two fronts, the standings on the court and the confidence of the fans in the seats.